Hello there. Welcome back to the YouTube. How you been? The glasses never feel like they are in the right place. True shame. True shame. How you doing? I hope you're doing well. I'm doing quite nicely myself. I've been thinking it was gonna rain all day, but nope, just really cloudy. I don't normally get this dark when it's cloudy. But I mean, well, without it doing anything at least. But hey, it's the first time for everything. So, yeah. And let's get started, shall we? King James Version of the Bible, Exodus, chapter 13. Let's go, baby. And excuse me. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Sanctify unto me all the firstborn, whatsoever openeth the womb among the children of Israel, both of man and of beast, it is mine. And Moses said unto the people, Remember this day in which ye came out from Egypt, out of the house of bondage, for by strength of hand the Lord brought you out from this place. There shall no leavened bread be eaten this day. Just completely flat bread. No yeast, no nothing. Ain't time for it to rise. This day came ye out in the month Abib, Jewish calendar. In case you're one of the months in the Jewish calendar, I believe the first month. And it shall be when the Lord shall bring thee into the land of the Canaanites, and the Hivites, and the Amorites, and the Canaanites, and the Hittites, and the Amorites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites, which he sware unto thy fathers to give thee, a land flowing with milk and honey. But thou shalt keep this service in this month. 7 days thou shalt eat unleavened bread, and in the 7th day shall be a feast unto the Lord. Unleavened bread shall be eaten 7 days, and there shall no leavened bread be seen with thee. Neither shall there be leaven seen with thee in all thy quarters. Ain't having it anywhere. And thou shalt shew thy son in that day, saying, This is done, because of that which the Lord did unto me, when I came forth out of Egypt. And it shall be a sign unto thee upon thine hand, and for a memorial between thine eyes, that the Lord's law may be in thy mouth, for with a strong hand hath the Lord brought thee out of Egypt. Thou shalt therefore keep this ordinance in his season from year to year. And it shall be, when the Lord shall bring thee into the land of the Canaanites, as he sware unto thee and to thy fathers, and shall give it thee, that thou shalt set apart unto the Lord all that openeth the matrix. In other words, is born. And every firstling that cometh of a beast which thou hast, the males, specifically firstborn, shall be the Lord's. The firstling of a donkey thou shalt redeem with a lamb. And if thou wilt not redeem it, then thou shalt break its neck. And all the firstborn of man among thy children shalt thou redeem. No breaking the neck when it comes to them. That was a donkey thing only. And it shall be when thy son asketh thee in time to come, saying, What is this? That thou shalt say unto him, By strength of hand the Lord brought us out from Egypt, and from the house of bondage. And it came to pass, when Pharaoh would hardly let us go, that the Lord slew all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, both the firstborn of man and the firstborn of beast. Therefore I sacrifice unto the Lord all that openeth the matrix, being males, but all the firstborn of my children I redeem. And It shall be for a token upon thine hand, and for frontlets between thine eyes. For by strength of hand the Lord brought us forth out of Egypt. And it came to pass, when Pharaoh had let the people go, that God led them not through the way of the land of the Philistines, although that was near. For God said, Lest peradventure the people repent when they see war, and they return to Egypt. But God led the people about through the way of the wilderness of the Red Sea. And the children of Israel went up, harnessed, out of the land of Egypt. And Moses took the bones of Joseph with him, as, they promised he would. He did state very specifically, when you leave, take my bones with you. I'd rather be buried in our land. So, yeah. For he had straitly sworn the children of Israel, saying, God will surely visit you, and ye shall carry up my bones away hence with you. And they took their journey from Succoth, and encamped in Etham, in the edge of the wilderness. And the Lord went before them by day in a pillar of a cloud, to lead them the way, and by night in a pillar of fire, to give them light, to go by day and night. Some people theorize that could actually be a more natural phenomenon. You see, due to the general Middle East just having just like a crud ton of oil there, occasionally it lights, and you can see pillars of fire just kind of sprout up from the ground, leaving, unsurprisingly, a lot of smoke. So that cloud by day, some people theorize, could be the smoke from the fire, and of course, easier to see the fire at night. Well, so there you go. Now, of course, no idea. But it's an interesting thought, considering that is just a natural phenomenon. God can use all things in whatever the heck way he wants, after all. He took not away the pillar of the cloud by day, nor the pillar of fire by night from before the people. Personally, by that particular verse, I'd go more supernatural, if I'll be perfectly honest. But, hey, what are you gonna do? Chapter 14. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, that they turn and encamp before Pi-hahiroth, between Migdol and the sea, over against Baal-zephon. Before it, he shall encamp by the sea. For Pharaoh will say of the children of Israel, They are entangled in the land, the wilderness hath shut them in. And I will harden Pharaoh's heart, that he shall follow after them, and I will be honored by Pharaoh, and upon all his hosts, that the Egyptians may know that I am the Lord. And they did so. So in other words, they're going down the path, and then God tells them, take a full 180 down a different path. And note, very specifically, they ain't out of the land of Egypt yet. Or, excuse me, the exact opposite. Some people say, well, there's a particular river in Egypt that could be the Red Sea. No. It very specifically states, they're out of Egypt. And very specifically to not take the way of the land of the Philistines. So, considering they're talking about going through the land of the Philistines very clearly, they're out of Egypt already. That's what it was. If I remember correctly, one of the most compelling theories for where the actual Exodus could have taken place is a little kind of offshoot of the Red Sea called the Gulf of Aqaba. It's a very interesting place, and one of the main reasons that most people just hadn't considered that for the longest time and always put the Red Sea in Egypt, despite the fact the Bible very clearly states that didn't happen, is because on older maps, they just didn't put down the Gulf of Aqaba. They just didn't draw it. So most people just didn't even consider it as a thing that existed. So, yeah. Also, yeah, it is far outside the land of Egypt. You got trying to figure out where to. You got the land of Egypt. You got the Sinai Peninsula. And then down here is where the Gulf of Aqaba is. It's, in my opinion, the most compelling place to where the actual Red Sea crossing could have been. I have no idea. But, again, they're very clearly out of the land of Egypt. And I can't think of any other place it could be. Now, some say it was a little bit further up in the Gulf of Aqaba. Some say it was a little bit further down. Up here's a little bit shallower. Down here's a little bit, deeper. But it's gotta be one of those, because ultimately, it can't be the other thing. They're out of Egypt. For Pharaoh will say of the children of Israel, they are entangled in the land, the wilderness hath shut them in. And I will harden Pharaoh's heart, that he shall follow after them. And I will be honored upon Pharaoh, and upon all his host, that the Egyptians may know that I am the Lord. And they did so. And it was told the king of Egypt that the people fled, as he told them very specifically to do. He just said very specifically, get out of here. I don't want to see you. And the heart of Pharaoh and his servants was turned against the people. And they said, why have we done this? That we have let Israel go from serving us. Probably for two reasons. One, guarantee you, they blame them for the whole death of the firstborn thing. Second, this is a slave economy. Most of the work was most likely being done by slaves. Meaning, they just lost a majority of their workforce. And that's not good for the economy. Where some people put the particular date of the Exodus, the 1500 BC one, they say that it would align quite closely with one of the golden ages of Egypt. And after that comes a big old dark spot where we just don't have much information of that particular time period. But the one after that, it wasn't doing great if I remember correctly. Economically. And yeah, this would do it. This would 100% collapse the entirety of the Egyptian economy. Just 100%. So yeah, they ain't a fan. Despite actively telling them to go, they have decided this was a bad idea. So, and he made ready his chariots, and took his people with him. And he took 600 chosen chariots of all the chariots of Egypt, and captains over every one of them. And the Lord hardened the heart of Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and he pursued after the children of Israel. And the children of Israel went out with a high hand. I'm not 100% certain what that means. Could just be went out very happy. But I don't know. But the Egyptians pursued after them, all the horses and chariots of Pharaoh and his horsemen and his army, and overtook them, encamping by the sea beside Pihahiroth, before Baal-zephon, where God told them to camp. And when Pharaoh drew nigh, the children of Israel lifted up their eyes, and behold, the Egyptians marched after them, and they were sore afraid. And the children of Israel cried out unto the Lord. And they said unto Moses, Because there were no graves in Egypt, hast thou taken us away to die in the wilderness? Just unsurprisingly, after the death of all of the firstborn of all of Egypt, not exactly many graves left. In fact, actually, archaeologically, from that time of the 1500 BC Exodus, the what was it called? The Hyksos expulsion, I believe, is what the Egyptians called it. Yeah, there's just mass graves. There's just mass graves everywhere. Unsurprisingly, hit them kind of hard. Wherefore hast thou dealt thus with us, to carry us forth out of Egypt? Is not this the word that we did tell thee in Egypt, saying, Let us alone, that we may serve the Egyptians? For it had been better for us to serve the Egyptians than that we should die in the wilderness. They're panicking, and they're turning on each other now. And specifically, they turned on Moses. And Moses said unto the people, Fear ye not, stand still and see the salvation of the Lord, which he will shew to you this today. For the Egyptians whom ye have seen today, ye shall see them again no more forever. And boy, does he mean it. The Lord shall fight for you, and ye shall hold your peace. And the Lord said unto Moses, Wherefore criest thou unto me? Speak unto the children of Israel, that they go forward. But lift up thy rod, and stretch out thine hand over the sea, and divide it. And the children of Israel shall go on dry ground, through the midst of the sea. And I, behold, I will harden the hearts of the Egyptians. I cannot speak today. And they shall follow them. And I will give me honor upon Pharaoh, and upon all his host, and upon his chariots, and upon his horsemen. And the Egyptians shall know that I am the Lord, when I have gotten me honor upon Pharaoh, upon his chariots, and upon his horsemen. I do know there's a particular stela, whatever. They rock with a bunch of hieroglyphs on it from around this time that does talk about, in the Egyptian language, God dividing the waters, which is interesting for multiple reasons. Not only, of course, because it aligns with this, like historically speaking, but also Egyptians are not monotheistic. They had a full-on pantheon. So the fact that they used singular God and not the gods, quite telling. And the angel of God, which went before the camp of Israel, removed and went behind them. And the pillar of the cloud went from before their face and stood behind them. And it came between the camp of the Egyptians and the camp of Israel. And it was a cloud of darkness to them, but it gave light by night to these. So that the one came not near the other all the night. So there's just a big old firewall, a literal firewall between the two camps. And Moses stretched out his hand over the sea, and the Lord caused the sea to go back by a strong east wind all that night, and made the sea dry land, and the waters were divided. And the children of Israel went into the midst of the sea upon the dry ground, and the waters were a wall unto them, on their right hand and on their left. That's pretty amazing considering. It's one thing for the waters to be removed. It's another thing for them to be a full-on wall. And the Egyptians pursued, and went in after them to the midst of the sea, even all of Pharaoh's horses, and his chariots and his horsemen. And it came to pass that in the morning watch, the Lord looked unto the host of the Egyptians through the pillar of fire, and of the cloud, and troubled the host of the Egyptians. It's like, no, not time for you yet. And took off their chariot wheels, and drave them heavily, because they're just dragging on the ground now, so that the Egyptians said, Let us flee from the face of Israel, for the Lord fighteth for them against the Egyptians. What was your first clue? And the Lord said unto Moses, Stretch out thine hand over the sea, that the waters may come again upon the Egyptians, upon their chariots, and upon their horsemen. And Moses stretched forth his hand over the sea, and the sea returned to his strength, when the morning appeared. And the Egyptians fled against it, and the Lord overthrew the Egyptians in the midst of the sea. And the waters returned, and covered the chariots and the horsemen, and all the host of Pharaoh that came into the sea after them. There remained not so much as one of them. But the children of Israel walked upon dry land, in the midst of the sea, and the waters were a wall unto them, on their right hand and on their left. Thus the Lord saved Israel that day, out of the hand of the Egyptians. And Israel saw the Egyptians dead upon the seashore. And Israel saw that great work which the Lord did upon the Egyptians. And the people feared the Lord, and believed the Lord, and his servant Moses. To which I say once again, fair. Remember that whole, you won't see the Egyptians that are coming after you again after this? Yeah, it's because they're dead now. Chapter 15. Then sang Moses and the children of Israel this song unto the Lord, and spake, saying, and I ain't even gonna try to sing this for one thing. I doubt it works in English. For a second thing, I ain't doing it. I will sing unto the Lord, for he hath triumphed gloriously. The horse and his rider hath he thrown into the sea. The Lord is my strength and song, and he is become my salvation. He is my God, and I will prepare him an habitation, my father's God, and I will exalt him. The Lord is a man of war. The Lord is his name. Pharaoh's chariots and his host hath he cast into the sea. His chosen captains also are drowned in the Red Sea. The depths have covered them. They sank into the bottom as a stone. Thy right hand, O Lord, is become glorious in power. Thy right hand, O Lord, hath dashed in pieces the enemy. And in the greatness of thine excellency, thou hast overthrown them that rose up against thee. Thou sentest forth thy wrath, which consumed them as stubble. And with the blast of thy nostrils the waters were gathered together. The floods stood upright as an heap. And the depths were congealed in the heart of the sea. The enemy said, I will pursue, I will overtake, I will divide the spoil. My lust shall be satisfied upon them. I will draw my sword, my hand shall destroy them. Thou didst blow with thy wind, the sea covered them. They sank as lead in mighty waters. Who is like unto thee, O Lord, among the gods? Who is like thee, glorious in holiness, fearful in praises, doing wonders? Thou stretchest out thy right hand, the earth swallowed them. Thou in thy mercy hast led forth the people which thou hast redeemed. Thou hast guided them in thy strength unto thy holy habitation. The people shall hear and be afraid. Sorrow shall take hold on the inhabitants of Palestine. That's an interesting one right there. Because, fun fact, this is one of those, using a quote-unquote, by the time this was written, modern term. Because realistically, the area didn't actually get called Palestina or Palestine until Rome came in, because they were very specifically mocking Israel. I forget the specific logic behind it. It was either because they named it after their enemy, the Philistines, or because they named it after a mountain in Rome. But it is an interesting detail. So now you know at least roughly when the latest version of this was written. Somewhere in the Roman days. So that's neat. Then the dukes of Edom shall be amazed. The mighty men of Moab, trembling, shall take hold upon them. All the inhabitants of Canaan shall melt away. Fear and dread shall fall upon them. By the greatness of thine arm, they shall be as still as a stone, till thy people pass over. O Lord, till the people pass over, which thou hast purchased. Thou shalt bring them in, and plant them in the mountain of thine inheritance, in the place, O Lord, which thou hast made for thee to dwell in the sanctuary, O Lord, which thy hands have established. The Lord shall reign for ever and ever. Excuse me. For the horse of Pharaoh went in with his chariots, and with his horsemen into the sea. And the Lord brought again the waters of the sea upon them. But the children of Israel went on dry land, in the midst of the sea. And that's the song. Again, works much better in Hebrew, I'm sure. And Miriam the prophetess, the sister of Aaron, took a timbrel in her hand, and all the women went out after her with timbrels and with dances. They're just celebrating the heck out of this, in which case, considering they're no longer slaves, yeah, that's fair. And Miriam answered them, Sing ye to the Lord, for he hath triumphed gloriously. The horse and his rider hath he thrown into the sea. So, Moses brought Israel from the Red Sea, and they went out into the wilderness of Shur. Sure, why not? And they went 3 days in the wilderness and found no water. That's not a good sign. And when they came to Marah, they could not drink of the waters of Marah, for they were bitter. It's not suitable at all to drink. Therefore the name of it was called Marah. And the people murmured against Moses, saying, What shall we drink? And he cried unto the Lord, and the Lord shewed him a tree, which, when he had cast into the waters were made sweet. So, congratulations, it purified the water. There he made for them a statute and an ordinance, and there he proved them, and said, If thou wilt diligently hearken to the voice of the Lord thy God, and wilt do thou which is right in his sight, and wilt give ear to his commandments, and keep all his statutes, I will put none of these diseases upon thee, which I have brought upon the Egyptians, for I am the Lord that healeth thee. And they came to Elim, where were 12 wells of water, and 70 palm trees. My gosh. And they encamped there, by the waters. Which makes sense. 12 tribes of Israel, 12 wells of water, yada yada. Chapter 16. And they took their journey from Elim, and all the congregation of Israel came unto the wilderness of Sin, which is between Elim and Sinai, on the 15th day of the 2nd month after their departing out of the land of Egypt. And the whole congregation of the children of Israel murmured against Moses and Aaron in the wilderness. Again. You will see this will become a trend. And the children of Israel said unto them, Would to God we had died by the hand of the Lord in the land of Egypt, when we sat by the flesh pots, and when we did eat bread to the full. He hath brought us forth into this wilderness to kill this whole assembly with hunger. It's like, guys, I appreciate your plight, but you could ask a little bit more politely to the person, to the God, that just freed you behind from slavery. I understand you're hungry. You could be a little bit more polite about it. Then said the Lord unto Moses, Behold, I will rain bread from heaven for you, and the people shall go out and gather a certain rate every day, that I may prove them, whether they will walk in my law or no. Just a simple little test. And it shall come to pass, that on the 6th day they shall prepare that which they bring in, and it shall be twice as much as they gather daily. And Moses and Aaron said unto all the children of Israel, At even, then ye shall know that the Lord hath brought you out from the land of Egypt. Because, the 10 plagues, the Red Sea they just crossed, and everything else just hadn't convinced him yet, I guess. In which, considering what happens later, I guess not. When God said he chose these people specifically because they were stubborn, boy did he mean it. To be fair, guilty. Same here. I can be quite the stubborn son of a gun as well. Let's say. And in the morning, then ye shall see the glory of the Lord, for that he heareth your murmurings against the Lord. And what are we that ye murmur against us? It's like, look, I haven't been the one deciding the things we do here. That's God. I'm just the messenger. Don't shoot the messenger, please. And Moses said, This shall be when the Lord shall give you in the evening flesh to eat, and in the morning bread to the full, that the Lord heareth your murmurings, which ye murmur against him. And what are we? Your murmurings are not against us, but against the Lord. Stated, we ain't been calling the shots here. You got complaints? You ain't complaining to us, you're complaining to him. And Moses said unto Aaron, Say unto all the congregation of the children of Israel. Remember, Moses got a bad stutter, very self-conscious about it, so he's got the spokesperson of Aaron. Come near before the Lord, for he hath heard your murmurings. And it came to pass, as Aaron spake unto the whole congregation of the children of Israel, that they looked toward the wilderness, and behold, the glory of the Lord appeared in the cloud. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, I have heard the murmurings of the children of Israel. Speak unto them, saying, At even ye shall eat flesh, and in the morning ye shall be filled with bread, and ye shall know that I am the Lord your God. And it came to pass that at even the quails came up and covered the camp, and in the morning the dew lay round about the host. And when the dew that lay was gone up, behold, upon the face of the wilderness there lay a small round thing, as small as the hoarfrost on the ground. I don't know what the heck a hoarfrost is. It's a H-O-A-R frost, by the way, not the other one. When the children of Israel saw it, they said one to another, It is manna? For they wist not what it was. But they haven't a clue, so they just called it something. That may have an actual meaning in Hebrew, I just don't know what it is. But either way, And Moses said unto them, This is the bread which the Lord hath given you to eat. This is the thing which the Lord hath commanded. Gather it every man according to his eating, and omer for every man, according to the number of your persons. Take ye every man for them which are in his tents. I'm not good at the measurements of the King James Version. I'm barely good at the measurements of, well, anything else, frankly. Whether it be metric system or US standard, I'm not good at that. But you can look up how much an omer is. So, I mean, you're here. Surely to goodness you got Google. And the children of Israel did so, and gathered some more, some less. And they did meet it with an omer. He that gathered much had nothing over, and he that gathered little had no lack. They gathered every man according to his eating, just as much as you could eat. No more, no less. And Moses said, Let no man leave of it till the morning. Notwithstanding, they hearkened not unto Moses, but some of them left of it until the morning, and it bred worms and stank. This is why you don't do that. Rots very quickly. And Moses, understandably, was wroth with them. And they gathered it every morning, every man according to his eating. When the sun waxed hot, it melted. And gum. And it came to pass that on the 6th day they gathered twice as much bread, 2 omers for one man. And all the rulers of the congregation came and told Moses. They're probably quite confused. Why did you tell us very specifically to do this if it rots in a day? And he said unto them, This is that which the Lord hath said. Tomorrow is the rest of the holy Sabbath unto the Lord. You guys, you've been working 7 days a week for your entire lives. You need to learn how to take a break. It's not good for you to work 7 days a week. It's just not healthy. You need to take a breather. Spend time with your family. Bond with your kids. Make memories. You only got the one opportunity. Make it count. But you need to rest. Bake that which ye will bake today, and seethe that which ye will seethe, and that which remaineth over lay up for you to be kept until the morning. And they laid it up till the morning, as Moses bade. And it did not stink, neither was there any worms therein. Yeah, ultimately, it's quite nice. Every other time you leave it till tomorrow, congratulations, thing rots like heck. Luckily, considering God very specifically stated, don't go gather anymore tomorrow. Rest, please. Kick back in, you lazy boy, and just take a breather. Luckily it didn't rot. And Moses said, Eat that today, for today is a Sabbath unto the Lord. Today ye shall not find it in the field. 6 days ye shall gather it, but on the 7th day, which is the Sabbath, in it there shall be none. And it came to pass, as you would expect by this point, that there went out some of the people on the 7th day for to gather, and they found none. Who'd have guessed? And the Lord said unto Moses, How long refuse ye to keep my commandments and my laws? See forth that the Lord hath given you the Sabbath, therefore he giveth you on the 6th day the bread of 2 days. Abide ye every man in his place. Let no man go out of his place on the 7th day. So the people rested on the seventh day, made many memories with their children. Real bonding moment. And the house of Israel called the name thereof manna, and it was like a coriander seed, white, and the taste of it was like wafers made with honey. Wasn't a very big thing, but it was nice. It was crunchy. Very sweet. Quite delicious, I'd say. Combine that with the quails for the meat. Or the... No, never mind. They weren't eating quails yet. That's a later thing. Okay. Got confused. Anyway. And Moses said, This is the thing which the Lord commandeth. Fill an omer of it, to be kept for your generations, that they may see the bread wherewith I have fed you in the wilderness, when I brought you forth from the land of Egypt. Neat. So presumably out there somewhere is just a pot filled with the stuff. Cool. When I brought you forth from the land of Egypt. And Moses said unto Aaron, Take a pot, and put an omer full of manna therein, and lay it up before the Lord, to be kept for your generations. As the Lord commanded Moses, so Aaron laid it up before the testimony, to be kept. And the children of Israel did eat manna 40 years, until they came to a land inhabited. In other words, they came to go actually get the land of Israel. They did eat manna until they came unto the borders of the land of Canaan. Now, an omer is the 10th part of an ephah. Don't ask. I don't know what an omer is. Don't know what an ephah is. But apparently in this particular measuring system, it's a 10th part of an ephah. Anyway, chapter 17. And all the congregation of the children of Israel journeyed from the wilderness of Sin, after their journeys, according to the commandment of the Lord, and pitched in Rephidim, and there was no water for the people to drink. Wherefore the people did chide with Moses, and said, Give us water, that we may drink. And Moses said unto them, Why chide ye with me? Wherefore do ye tempt the Lord? It's like, don't complain to me. I stated it earlier. If you're complaining to me, I'm not the one running the show here. I'm just the messenger. You're just complaining to God. Why you... That's a bad idea. And the people thirsted there for water. And the people murmured against Moses and said, Wherefore is this that thou hast brought us up out of Egypt, to kill us and our children, and our cattle with thirst? I feel like we've been through this once or twice before. And Moses cried unto the Lord, saying, What shall I do unto this people? They be almost ready to stone me. And the Lord said unto Moses, Go on before the people, and take with thee of the elders of Israel, and thy rod, wherewith thou smotest the river, take in thine hand, and go. Behold, I will stand before thee there upon the rock in Horeb, and thou shalt smite the rock, and there shall come water out of it, that the people may drink. And Moses did so in the sight of the elders of Israel. And he called the name of the place Massah and Meribah, because of the chiding of the children of Israel, and because they tempted the Lord, saying, Is the Lord among us or not? Then came Amalek, and fought with Israel in Rephidim. And Moses said unto Joshua, yes, this is that Joshua. It'll become real important later. choose out men, and go out, fight with Amalek. Tomorrow I will stand on the top of the hill with the rod of God in mine hand. And Joshua did as Moses had said to him, and fought with Amalek. And Moses, Aaron, and Hur went up to the top of the hill. I bet Aaron and Hur were very glad that they came to the top of the mountain with him, considering what's about to happen. And it came to pass, when Moses held up his hand, that Israel prevailed. And when he let down his hand, Amalek prevailed. But, this war is probably going on for multiple hours straight. But Moses' hands were heavy. And they took a stone and put it under him. And he sat thereon, and Aaron and Hur stayed up his hands, the one on the one side and the other on the other side, and his hands were steady until the going down of the sun. And Joshua discomfited Amalek and his people with the edge of the sword. Battle won. Congrats. You get like 1,000 XP. And the Lord said unto Moses, Write this for a memorial in a book, and rehearse it in the ears of Joshua, for I will utterly put out the remembrance of Amalek from under heaven. And Moses built an altar, and called the name of it Jehovah Nissi. For he said, Because the Lord hath sworn that the Lord will have war with Amalek from generation to generation, until him and his entire people's just gone. God didn't like him. Like at all. Clearly. Now, chapter 18. When Jethro, the priest of Midian, Moses' father-in-law, heard of all that God had done for Moses and for the people, and for Israel his people, and that the Lord had brought Israel out of Egypt, then Jethro, Moses' father-in-law, took Zipporah, Moses' wife, after he had sent her back. Keep her there, keep her safe. And her 2 sons, of which the name of the one was Gershom, for he said, I have been an alien in a strange land. And the name of the other was Eliezer. For the God of my father, said he, was mine help, and delivered me from the sword of Pharaoh. And Jethro, Moses' father-in-law, came with his sons and his wife unto Moses into the wilderness, where he encamped at the mount of God. And he said unto Moses, I, thy father-in-law Jethro, am come unto thee, and thy wife and her 2 sons with her. And Moses went out to meet his father-in-law, and did obeisance, and kissed him. Been a while. He liked the guy. Good to catch up. And they asked each other of their welfare, and they came into the tent. And Moses told his father-in-law all that the Lord had done unto Pharaoh and to the Egyptians for Israel's sake, and all the travail that had come upon them by the way, and how the Lord delivered them. And Jethro rejoiced for all the goodness which the Lord had done to Israel, whom he had delivered out of the hand of the Egyptians. And Jethro said, Blessed be the Lord, who hath delivered you out of the hand of the Egyptians, and out of the hand of Pharaoh, who hath delivered the people from under the hand of the Egyptians. Now I know that the Lord is greater than all gods, for in the thing wherein they dealt proudly, he was above them. And Jethro, Moses' father-in-law, took a burnt offering and sacrifices for God. And Aaron came, and all the elders of Israel, to eat bread with Moses, his father-in-law, before God. Meet the man. Heard a lot of good things about him. And it came to pass on the morrow that Moses sat to judge the people. And the people stood by Moses from morning unto evening. Because you gotta remember, at the moment, they got a lot of things going on. This is an entire nation of people. So unsurprisingly, there's gonna be a debacle or 2 here and there. So somebody's gotta just, deal with the problems. The only problem is literally only Moses is doing it. That's a lot for one guy. And when Moses' father-in-law saw all that he did to the people, he said, "What is this thing that thou doest to the people? Why sittest thou thyself alone, and all the people stand by thee from morning unto evening?" And Moses said unto his father-in-law, "Because the people come unto me to inquire of God. When they have a matter, they come unto me, and I judge between one and another, and I do make them know the statutes of God and his laws." And Moses' father-in-law said unto him, "The thing that thou doest is not good. Thou wilt surely wear away, both thou and this people that is with thee. This thing is too heavy for thee. Thou art not able to perform it thyself alone." Moses, love what you're doing. Love the fact that you're doing it. I appreciate it so much. You cannot do this alone. Your stress levels are high enough. Think about your blood pressure. This is too much for one man. Hearken now unto my voice, and I will give thee counsel, and God shall be with thee. Be thou for the people to Godward, and thou mayest bring the causes unto God. In other words, if they very specifically have a question about or to God, bring it to Moses. "And thou shalt teach them ordinances and laws, and thou shalt shew them the way wherein they must walk, and the work that they must do. Moreover, thou shalt provide out of all the people able men, such as fear God, men of truth, hating covetousness, and place such over them, to be rulers of thousands, and rulers of hundreds, rulers of fifties, and rulers of tens. And let them judge the people at all seasons. And it shall be, that every great matter they shall bring unto thee. But every small matter they shall judge. So shall it be easier for thyself, and they shall bear the burden with thee." You can't face the world on your own. You have limits. And it's hard to admit where they are. But yeah, with how much stress Moses is under, especially with the fact that Israel is constantly being like, "Oh, well, very clearly God's just not with us because yeah, unsurprisingly, this stress would kill him after a while. He needs help. "If thou shalt do this thing, and God command thee so," make certain God's on board with this, "then thou shalt be able to endure, and all this people shall also go to their place in peace." So Moses hearkened to the voice of his father-in-law, and did all that he had said. Bleh. And Moses chose able men out of all Israel, good, upstanding citizens, and made them heads over the people, rulers of thousands, rulers of hundreds, rulers of fifties, and rulers of tens. And they judged the people at all seasons. No, like, "This guy stole my cow." I did not. It's got my brand right there. How do you know that's not my brand? Does yours look like an M? 'Cause I think yours looks like a B. You never know. Maybe it changed. Maybe it just wore away over time. Not how that works. Basic small matters, The hard causes they brought unto Moses, but every small matter they judged themselves. And Moses let his father-in-law depart, and he went his way into his own land. Man's got a life. He can't go with Israel. They gotta go do their own thing. And the next one's short, so let's go ahead and do chapter 19, baby. In the 3rd month, when the children of Israel were gone forth out of the land of Egypt, the same day came they into the wilderness of Sinai. For they were departed from Rephidim, and were come to the desert of Sinai, and had pitched in the wilderness. And there Israel camped before the mount. And Moses went up unto God, and the Lord called unto him out of the mountain, saying, Thus shalt thou say unto the house of Jacob, and tell the children of Israel. As I stated before, they're not called the children of Israel for nothing. They were literally the children of Jacob, the guy God renamed Israel. Again, presumably it switches back and forth just to make certain you know we're talking about the guy Israel and not the people. Ye have seen what I did unto the Egyptians, and how I bare you on eagle's wings, and brought you unto myself. Now therefore, if ye will obey my voice indeed, and keep my covenant, then ye shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people, for all the earth is mine. Basically what he's saying is like, all this is mine, but I will specifically, very specifically, be with you, like always. You are going to be called my people. And ye shall be unto me a kingdom of priests, and an holy nation. These are the words which thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel. And Moses came and called for the elders of the people, and laid before their faces all these words which the Lord commanded him. And all the people answered together and said, All that the Lord hath spoken, we will do. And Moses returned the words of the people unto the Lord. And the Lord said unto Moses, Lo, I come unto thee in a thick cloud, that the people may hear when I speak with thee, and believe thee forever. And Moses told the word to the people unto the Lord. And the Lord said unto Moses, Go unto the people, and sanctify them today, and tomorrow, and let them wash their clothes, and be ready against the 3rd day. The 3rd day, the Lord will come down in the sight of all the people upon Mount Sinai. And thou shalt set bounds unto the people round about, saying, Take heed to yourselves that ye go not up into the mount, or touch the border of it. Whosoever toucheth the mount shall surely be put to death. I shall not an hand touch it, but he shall surely be stoned, or shot through. Whether it be beast or man, it shall not live. When the trumpet soundeth long, they shall come up to the mount. Area off limits. Make yourself ready. You're about to literally see God. He's going to be in a cloud. Don't worry. You're not going to see his face and die. But you're going to see him. And Moses went down from the mount unto the people, and sanctified the people, and they washed their clothes. And he said unto the people, Be ready against the 3rd day. Come not at your wives. No sex on that day. And it came to pass on the 3rd day in the morning, that there were thunders and lightnings, and a thick cloud upon the mount, and the voice of the trumpet exceedingly loud, so that all the people that was in the camp trembled. Fair. And Moses brought forth the people out of the camp to meet God, and they stood at the nether part of the mount. And Mount Sinai was altogether on a smoke. He's just covered in smoke, because the Lord descended upon it in fire. And the smoke thereof ascended as the smoke of a furnace, and the whole mount quaked greatly. Hear me. And when the voice of the trumpet sounded long, and waxed louder and louder, Moses spake, and God answered him by a voice. And the Lord came down upon Mount Sinai, on the top of the mount. And the Lord called Moses up to the top of the mount, and Moses went up. And the Lord said unto Moses, Go down, charge the people, lest they break through unto the Lord to gaze, and many of them perish. Yeah, you're not supposed to look at God directly in the face. That's like looking into the sun, but like a billion times brighter. You're going to get evaporated. Well, I guess incinerated would be the better thing to say, but you get the idea. It's not a thing you do. And let the priests also, which come near to the Lord, sanctify themselves, lest the Lord break forth upon them. And Moses said unto the Lord, The people cannot come up to Mount Sinai, for thou chargest us, saying, Set bounds about the mount, and sanctify it. And the Lord said unto Moses, Away, get thee down, and thou shalt come up, thou and Aaron with thee. But let not the priests and the people break through, to come up unto the Lord, lest he break forth upon them. So went Moses down unto the people, and spake unto them. And hate to leave it there, but we've been going over an hour, and I don't particularly care for going too far over an hour with these things. I can only speak for so long without my throat starting to hurt. So, I hope you had a good time. I hope you learned something. And next time, congratulations, Israel's gonna see God. Not his face specifically. It stated he's gonna hide himself in the cloud, in the smoke. Make certain they don't actually see him once again. He'd prefer them not to get eviscerated. But yeah, that's happening next. So thank you for watching. God bless, and bye.